Good day, guys. So today we are going to discuss about hemoglobin. I feel this topic is really important for everyone because hemoglobin levels are commonly checked in lab, and there's a lot of use which you can draw from this lecture. Okay, so hemoglobin is the red oxygen carrying pigment in RBCs. Okay, so this is what's given. So it's red, it's oxygen carrying pigment in RBC. So if you divide it, there's a color attached to it, which is red to heme, red, oxygen carrying pigment, which is heme. Okay, and there's a protein part, which is globin. So there are three parts. Red oxygen carrying pigment is heme, and this globin, which is protein, which is made of four polypeptide chains. Okay, and they are in RBCs or red blood cells. Okay, that red blood cells color red, you can to remember better, red from for the red blood cells comes from heme. This is very important. Heme, what is heme? Heme is a pigment. It's a color pigment or a color chemical, red pigment, which carries oxygen in our blood. Okay, our full body, all organ systems require oxygen. Okay, that's for nutritive value for the tissues or for the other organ systems. So how will it reach there? It's through blood. From lungs, oxygen will come and reach to the blood. From organs, carbon dioxide will be released into the red blood cells, and that will come back again to lungs, and carbon dioxide will be released out. So if I have to again define hemoglobin, it is a red oxygen carrying pigment. Okay, in the red blood cells is hemoglobin. Okay, and it consists of protein globin with heme, pigment heme. Okay, so hemoglobin made of two parts. Globin is the protein part of it. Okay, and pigment, whichever the red color is coming, heme is heme. Okay, second is, if you have to define heme, this pigment, it is an iron containing porphyrin. So it's called iron protoporphyrin 9. Okay, you don't need to remember this porphyrins, so it goes very chemical later on. Okay, chemical nature, so some people may not understand, which is okay, no problem. Just know that it is, heme is iron containing. So heme is a pigment, a red color, oxygen carrying, it contains iron, and if you have to get the chemical structure, it is iron protoporphyrin 9. Okay, so the iron which is present in heme is in ferrous form. I think there are two forms. If you remember your old chemistry classes, there is this ferrous form and there is ferric form, F2 plus and F3 plus. Okay, so the iron in heme pigment is in ferrous form, and you will realize each iron is attached to combines loosely or reversibly with one molecule of oxygen, O2. Okay, so again, to repeat, just to make it clear, hemoglobin is a red oxygen carrying pigment. Where it is in red blood cells. Okay, so if you ask where do you get hemoglobin, usually found it's in red blood cells. Okay, inside those cells, and it consists of what? So whenever if anyone asks, hemoglobin consists of what? It consists of heme, which is that pigment, red pigment which carries oxygen, heme, and globin, which is protein part. Okay, so hemoglobin, remember that. And this heme's chemical structure is iron protoporphyrin 9. Okay, so heme contains iron. This pigment which I said, it has iron inside, and this iron is in what form? It is in ferrous form, Fe2 plus. Okay, what is the function of this iron there? So iron in heme, okay, is attached and or combines loosely and reversibly to one molecule of oxygen, one O2. Okay, remember that. Okay, so this iron Fe2 plus gets attached to the oxygen. Remember, oxygen carrying capacity is very important of hemoglobin, so that the iron which is present in heme, which is in ferrous form, combines to oxygen, one molecule of oxygen. This globin part, which is the protein part which we are talking about of hemoglobin, it is a protein, and remember, it has four polypeptide chains. Okay, Poly means many, and peptide is the functional unit of like amino acids. Okay, so 4 polypeptide chains make up a globin. Okay, 4. Now there are, in normal human life, there is 2 alpha chains and 2 beta chains. Just remember this. Okay, so globin is a protein. That protein is made of 4 polypeptide chains. In normal human adult life, it is 2 alpha chains and 2 beta chains. Okay, and normal hemoglobin is HbA. Just remember this fact. It's HbA, which has 2 alpha chains and 2 beta chains. What are these 2 alpha or beta chains? These chains, what I'm talking about, alpha and beta, which are present in normal human adult life, these are polypeptide chains. Okay, they're polypeptide chains. Now what is polypeptide as such? Poly means many. What do you mean by peptide? It's a small linkages between amino acids, and it's biochemistry. Okay, we'll get into it later on. Each polypeptide chains, remember I said how many polypeptide chains make the globin part? 4 polypeptide chains. Now remember this, each polypeptide chain, so that means 4 of them are there, each one is associated with one heme group. Remember what is heme? Heme is the pigment. See, red oxygen carrying colored pigment or chemical, that's heme. Now here I'm saying globin is made of 4 polypeptide chains, 2 alpha, 2 beta, and each polypeptide chain is linked with one heme group. Okay, one heme. Therefore, there are 4 heme molecules present to one molecule of hemoglobin. Okay, because when you say hemoglobin, there's heme and globin. No, they're saying globin contains 4 polypeptide chains. I remember I said 2 alpha, 2 beta. And now I'm telling you is each chain alpha, beta, these chains 4 are there, no? Each is associated with one heme. So there are 4 heme present in one molecule of hemoglobin. Okay, so there are 4 iron also, because each heme contains 1 iron. So I said 4 hemes are present in one hemoglobin molecule. So 4 iron atoms. Each iron atom, ion, this Fe2 plus combines with one molecule of oxygen, I said 1 O2. So total one hemoglobin molecule contains 4 polypeptide chains. The globin part contains 4 heme moieties, contains 4 iron atoms, it contains 8 oxygen atoms. How? Because O2 is considered as one molecule of oxygen. Okay, now we'll move on to oxyhemoglobin. This is like a type of hemoglobin, and this is not a type, this is what it is called when the hemoglobin has oxygen with it. Okay, hemoglobin has oxygen carrying with it, it's oxyhemoglobin. So Hb or hemoglobin reacts with oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin. It's denoted as HbO2. Okay, the affinity of hemoglobin for oxygen, okay, affinity as in how much the hemoglobin is attracted to oxygen, it is influenced by some factors, and these are roughly you can remember. This is physiology, right? So roughly you can remember is temperature, pH, and this molecule is called what, 2,3-diphosphoglycerate. 2,3-diphosphoglycerate. This molecule is very important, and this 2,3-diphosphoglycerate is important regarding the affinity of hemoglobin. Okay, affinity of hemoglobin, and it's derived from glucose metabolism. Okay, so 2,3-DPG, 2,3-diphosphoglycerate, which itself is derived from glucose. This molecule plays an important role in affinity of hemoglobin for oxygen. Okay, how much hemoglobin wants oxygen is also decided by this very important factor called 2,3-diphosphoglycerate. Okay, and how? Let's discuss about that. As concentration of this molecule 2,3-diphosphoglycerate, remember concentration of 2,3-diphosphoglycerate increases in red blood cells. Remember, where is hemoglobin? In the red blood cells. So but as this molecule 2,3-diphosphoglycerate increases in red blood cells, the affinity, as in how much it wants, how much attraction, the affinity for oxygen decreases. So red blood cell is there, hemoglobin is there, oxygen is there. Okay, so as this 2,3-diphosphoglycerate content increase in red blood cells, the affinity of hemoglobin for oxygen decreases. So if 2,3-diphosphoglycerate is more, the less oxygen is attracted to hemoglobin, and thus this oxygen is easily delivered in the tissues because it can be easily separated. If 2,3-diphosphoglycerate is not there or it's less, the attraction between hemoglobin and oxygen, the affinity is way more. So oxygen gets attached to hemoglobin in the red blood cells only. What we need that oxygen to be removed from hemoglobin, which is in our red blood cell, and to be given to the other organs, no, kidney, liver. We want other organ systems to get the oxygen. From where it will come? From the blood, where in the blood it is attached to hemoglobin. So how is body decided that oxygen will be given from the blood to the organ systems? It's by the method of 2,3-diphosphoglycerate. So as 2,3-diphosphoglycerate content increases in the red blood cells, oxygen affinity for hemoglobin decreases. Thus oxygen has been transported or is unloaded to the other tissues. Okay, now see, you must have heard of blood which is stored for a long time loses its 2,3-diphosphoglycerate content. Okay, blood which is stored for a long time, it loses its 2,3-diphosphoglycerate content. As a result, 2,3-diphosphoglycerate is less. The affinity of hemoglobin and oxygen is more. Hence, oxygen giving capacity of that blood is less, because hemoglobin is nicely attracted to the oxygen. It doesn't let go of oxygen to the other organs. It doesn't let go, because what is the factor which helps it to let go? 2,3-diphosphoglycerate. So that is why even high altitude such situations come. Okay. Now once O2 is usually delivered in the tissues means other organ systems or other organ places or other body parts, whatever. Okay, tissues, the hemoglobin is reversed and it's called reduced hemoglobin. So the concept of oxyhemoglobin is oxygen is present in the hemoglobin, and reduced means once oxygen is delivered, that hemoglobin is called reduced hemoglobin. One more type is carboxyhemoglobin. The word carboxyhemoglobin. Carbon monoxide, CO. This odorless gas, if you remember in cars and all, many people have died if you sleep. I don't know how far like this car thing is true, but must have heard like carbon monoxide poisoning where the blood becomes cherry red in color. So what happens exactly? Carbon monoxide has 210 times more attraction towards hemoglobin compared to oxygen. So usually it's what oxygen is attracted to hemoglobin. Okay, and hemoglobin is the affinity for oxygen. But what happens in carbon monoxide poisoning or carboxyhemoglobin here is the hemoglobin has actually 210 times more affinity for carbon monoxide, CO. So it easily forms a bond with CO rather than oxygen, O2. Okay, and what happens is oxygen is not getting carried, carbon monoxide is being getting carried. So this is one way oxygenation suffers in such situations. Okay, now let's talk about normal values. Okay, so normal values at birth is 23 grams per deciliter. Now why? Because RBCs are more, red blood cells count is more. Okay, so 23 grams per deciliter at birth, 23 grams, okay, per deciliter. Now let's talk about adult males. Okay, in adult population where males, 14 to 18 grams per deciliter is considered normal. Average will be 15 grams per deciliter. Okay, you need to know the normal values. That's physiology. Okay, that is important. At least the rough range, if you can also fathom, that's enough. 14 to 18 grams per deciliter is the normal value of hemoglobin in males. Females, it is 12 to 15.5 grams per deciliter. Very fine. Even like 13 to 15 grams per deciliter is fine in females, because females lose blood. Okay, every month they through menstruation, and also they have lesser absorption rates. So 12 to 15 grams per deciliter. Okay, slightly less, but yeah, they can have also the same amount of hemoglobin in males also. There's nothing like that. So clinically 14.8 grams per deciliter is like 100% oxygen. Okay, 14.8. Let's talk about the functions of hemoglobin. You need to know what this protein does, like what this hemoglobin does. Remember, hemoglobin is heme, which is a pigment, oxygen carrying pigment, which is red in color, which is attached to globin chains. Okay, 4 globins. Hemoglobin now, so one globin is consists of 4 polypeptide chains, 2 alpha chains, 2 beta chains, each chain has one heme moiety. So there are one molecule of hemoglobin has 4 heme, it has 4 iron atoms. Okay, remember that. And this hemoglobin is present in red blood cells bound there. So the function is, this is very important function, facilitates transport of oxygen from lungs to tissues. You got to remember that. So oxygen is taken in from lungs, okay, then it's delivered to the blood, and this blood will carry oxygen, with this pigment will carry oxygen and will release in the other organ systems. Okay, so oxygen it takes from the lungs and passes on to tissues. And it also, what happens when metabolic processes are done in the tissues, it releases carbon dioxide, and carbon dioxide is picked by the blood again by hemoglobin and released it outside. It goes to the lungs and carbon dioxide is released. So oxygen is taken, blood reaches it there, CO2 is picked up and it's excreted. Also, this is extra functions. Okay, it acts as an excellent acid base buffer. Our blood has a very stringent acidity or pH that is maintained because of this 70% buffering power which it has. Okay, now this hemoglobin acid was never free, it was always bound to the RBC. But what happens, there's a disadvantages of free hemoglobin, and they are, if this free hemoglobin is dissolved in plasma, the viscosity of plasma increases. Remember, otherwise the blood has a viscosity of 4 to 5 times of that of water. Whenever viscosity increases, the resistance to travel from one point to another increases, and thus there is a rise of blood pressure. So if hemoglobin is more in the plasma and it is free, viscosity of plasma will increase, rise of BP will occur. Viscosity is how much thick it is. Okay, then there's increase in osmotic pressure. Remember, I talked about plasma proteins which pull the fluid inside the blood vessel, inside the capillaries. Yes, so again, if free hemoglobin is present in the plasma, what will happen? The concentration will increase now, and thus there will be pull of the capillary pull will be inside, so the fluid will be taken up inside more. Then there's kidney damage. I just wanted to remember this. Kidney damage can occur if there's free hemoglobin. Okay, now what are the factors controlling the production? You just need to know them briefly. There's a role of proteins. So this globin is what? It's made of 4 polypeptide chains, and you realize the structure of protein is made of these polypeptide chains. Okay, so you need to eat good protein for good hemoglobin production. Then there's a role of minerals like iron, calcium, cobalt, copper, and you need these minerals for good development of a good production or formation of hemoglobin. Okay, that's why we say eat iron for the heme, because if heme has to form, you need iron, right? Because heme contains, one heme moiety contains iron atom, remember? So you need iron, you need vitamin C, you need cobalt, you need calcium, you need copper. Okay, that's important, and a good protein consumption. So what happens, how does this heme get catabolized, or how it gets disintegrated after its function is done? Where is heme? It's in RBCs. Okay, and these RBCs or red blood cells are destroyed in tissue macrophage systems. You'll understand later on. Okay, so it's destroyed in tissue macrophage system. So this hemoglobin is split into heme. Remember what I said, heme is iron protoporphyrin 9. This is just a chemical name. Remember, heme, it contains iron. Okay, so iron protoporphyrin, this heme is separated from the globin part. This globin goes back in amino acid pool, which means it goes back to where all the proteins were, and it can be reused. So this protein is recycled here. Remember, globin plus heme is hemoglobin. It is getting split here. This tissue macrophage will split it, and heme, this iron, this pigment is separate, and this globin is separate. And this heme, which is again a pigment, it is separate. It has iron and it has protoporphyrin. So here iron is separated, and this iron combines with something called as apoferritin, and it is stored. Ferritin is stored in liver. Okay, you got this idea. This ferritin is nothing but a combination of this ferrous iron and apoferritin, and it is stored. So this is stored again, iron. And where this iron came from? It came from iron protoporphyrin 9, which is heme. So if iron has been taken care of, this protoporphyrin remains, this remaining part, it is oxidized by heme oxygenase. Just remember this enzyme, heme oxygenase. So from heme oxygenase will convert whatever this protoporphyrin 9 into biliverdin. And this biliverdin reductase, it reduces, either adds hydrogen or removes oxygen, and biliverdin is converted to bilirubin. If you remember this in liver function test and all, this will come. Okay, bilirubin. So the final product of hemoglobin is, I would say, heme is one, globin is one. This protein hemoglobin, no, this protein part is recycled. It's goes to amino acid pool. The heme part, remember, the heme part gets split into iron and protoporphyrin. This iron is again combined with something called as apoferritin, and then it turns into ferritin and stored in liver, while protoporphyrin 9, which is the remaining part of this heme, is converted to bilirubin. Just remember that it's converted to bilirubin via two enzymes here. Okay, you can for physiology you must just remember at least the rough part. Okay, let's talk about varieties of hemoglobin. You need to know the different types of hemoglobin. So whenever the topic of hemoglobin comes, you know the normal values. Remember I said 14 to 18 grams per deciliter for males, while females is 13 to 15 grams per deciliter. At birth it is 23 grams per deciliter. You need to know the normal values, I said. Okay, now you need to know what it's made of. I said that it was heme and globin. Globin is the protein part with 4 polypeptide chains, 2 alpha, 2 beta chains. Remember, normal adult hemoglobin, which is called HbA, has 2 alpha chains and 2 beta chains. Okay, so 4 polypeptide chains in that globin. And there is heme. Heme is a red. Remember, red, I'm stressing the color red. It carries oxygen. So oxygen carrying pigment, where this hemoglobin, this together hemoglobin is present in the red blood cells. Okay, so this I've just written it to adult hemoglobin, or it is called HbA. So remember this. What is the adult hemoglobin? If I ask you somewhere, it is HbA. HbA. Okay, that's adult hemoglobin. What is this HbA or hemoglobin A made up of? It's made up of 2 alpha chains. This is how alpha is written. 2 alpha chains, 2 beta chains. So total 4 now. Okay, so 4 polypeptide chains make the globin part. So here it is 2 alpha, 2 beta. Okay, this is the main type. This is what's there in you, me, an adult life who is kind of normal or who hasn't suffered any disease or effect. Hemoglobin A2, this is another one. So this one is hemoglobin A, 2 alpha, 2 beta chains. Hemoglobin A2 is 2 alpha 2 and delta 2 chains. Alpha 2, beta 2 in normal HbA. Hemoglobin A2, alpha 2 is and delta 2. This hemoglobin A appears in fetus after 5 months of life. Okay, this is, I think this is not required for you. It is just an extra thing. Okay, now very important. I told you about adult hemoglobin, HbA. There is HbA, alpha 2 chains, beta 2 chains, main type. Hemoglobin A2 is alpha 2, delta 2. Now we speak about fetal hemoglobin. Read the words, fetal hemoglobin. It's not adult. This should not remain in your child for a long period of time. If your child has fetal hemoglobin for a longer period of time, people doubt thalassemia. Okay, they doubt it in usually commonly. Okay, so fetal hemoglobin, it is HbF. So whenever you hear HbF anywhere, I want you to remember this. Hb, hemoglobin. Hb is not denoted as hemoglobin. Okay, this is hemoglobin F, fetal. So fetal hemoglobin. Okay, HbF, fetal hemoglobin. Alpha 2, just like everyone had alpha 2 to alpha 2, alpha 2, here also alpha 2, and there is gamma 2. There is gamma chains. Okay, there's a different chains here, gamma chains. Okay, the structure is same as HbA except that beta chains are replaced with gamma chains. Okay, this HbF or fetal hemoglobin has more affinity. Remember I spoke about affinity, meaning the attraction, the power of attraction. So this hemoglobin has much more attraction to oxygen. Okay, so what happens if oxygen binds too much to this Hb hemoglobin? It is released less into the tissues. Okay, remember that. So oxygenation does suffer if you have too much HbF. Now it binds to 2,3-DPG weakly C. Remember what I said, the role of this is 2,3-BPG. Its role was to displace hemoglobin and oxygen such that oxygen is delivered into the tissues. Okay, so if this hemoglobin binds weakly to this 2,3-DPG, how will this help to displace oxygen and hemoglobin, right? So oxygen will be very tightly bound to this type of hemoglobin. Hence the tissues or other organ systems may suffer if it's too much present. Also this is required now. This HbF having more affinity to oxygen is required, especially when blood comes from maternal circulation to fetal circulation. But it's unnecessary right now to tell you that. Okay, what is the normal thing this HbF predominates and it disappears in 2 to 3 months. That is very important. If I wanted to remember anything, is This different type of hemoglobin, which is called fetal hemoglobin, just alpha 2 and gamma 2 chains, which is different from the adult one, HbA. This HbF, if it remains beyond the age of 4 to 6 months, okay, you go and you check in your child 4 to 6 months if he's still having HbF, this gives a suspicion of thalassemia. Okay, so this HbA1c, there's one more fact. In diabetics, you must have seen HbA1c levels are checked to check for the last 3 months control of his blood sugar levels. So just remember glycosylation, or the sugar, the glucose is right, sugar or glucose. This glucose gets attached to one part of hemoglobin, okay, one end of hemoglobin. So this glucose is, if your glucose is too high for a long period of time, gets attached to one part of hemoglobin. Don't get into details. One part of hemoglobin, it remains, that hemoglobin remains. So by estimating that amount of hemoglobin, how much is there, you can get an idea whether your blood control was good or no. Okay, so 5% or something it should be. If it's more like 7-10, your control is bad. Okay, I think we'll end here. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day.